Well, as we mentioned today here in the Knesset, this week was the greatest victory in the history of faith-based diplomacy. We knew that for dozens and dozens of years there were millions and hundreds of millions of Christians praying for the peace of Jerusalem and the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. But today, this week, those prayers were answered. And they're answered because of the courage and leadership of Donald J. Trump. And I just have to say that without him, this wouldn't happen. But also without those millions of Bible-believing Christians asking to move the embassy to Jerusalem, it wouldn't have happened as well.
Yeah. And what about, hang on, you said about faith-based market. Talk about the spread of the the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus. Now you're in 38 nations, and what does that mean?
Well, it's unbelievable. We have, as you know, here the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus, but we also have Israel Allies Caucuses in now 38 countries. The biggest is the Congressional Israel Allies Caucus, formerly chaired by Vice President Mike Pence when he was a member of Congress, but we have actually 38 in countries around the world. We just opened up last week in the Parliament in Oslo, in Norway, and this is over 1,000 members of Parliament who take their biblical support and turn it into real political action.
You wanted to mention about Pat Robertson. What role has Pat Robertson played in this faith-based diplomacy?
Well, Pat Robertson has been a hero to Israel well before the establishment of the Christian Allies Caucus, and I was mentioning to you, he's one of those people who should have been at the embassy event 2 days ago. It was his inspiration, it was his words, him and also people like Jerry Falwell that were the first to stand up and said, you know, God keeps his covenants, we need to stand with God's covenant, and I just want to tell Pat Robertson that we love him, we appreciate him, and we were definitely thinking about him this week.
Yeah, great. And not the only one. Mike Evans mentioned that. Jay Sekulow.
Of course.
Yeah, he really, he's one of those pioneers that people are standing on the shoulders.
Absolutely. I mean, there are people like Rabbi Benny Alon, Pat Robertson, Jerry Falwell, that started this relationship, this new relationship between Jews and Christians in the 21st century, well before it was a popular thing. Of course, today, this is the the greatest effective diplomatic effort in the state of Israel. But back before then, there were people of courage like Pat Robertson that did this, and we appreciate it. We don't forget.
Do you see this week also as another step in Jewish-Christian relations, as in faith-based diplomacy?
Absolutely. I think that this is just the beginning. This isn't the end of our work. This is just where we're beginning. We're going to see things that people never imagined. And just this week, we talk about the embassy moving, but we also have Donald Trump coming out and throwing away that horrible, dreadful capitulation plan to Iran. And that's a miracle as well. I mean, we're seeing really the story of Purim being fulfilled right before our eyes in the news media. So it's just the beginning, and it's because Jews and Christians are finally coming together and working like the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob wanted them to.
For those that may not know their Bible as well as some, explain why it fits into Purim.
Well, in the letter of Esther, there was a Persian madman who came up to destroy the Jewish people, but God intervened through the work of Queen Esther, and what was meant for bad actually turned out to be good, and that's what we're seeing now. This idea that was unfortunately proposed by the past President Obama, that Israel is the problem in the Middle East, not Iran, is one that was being accepted by people. And then Donald Trump came in and he said, no, it's Iran that's the problem, and we're going to scrap the Iran deal, which was a complete capitulation, and we're not going to let Iran get nukes. And so what was meant for bad actually came for good, and we're celebrating that here in Jerusalem.
Anything else, Josh?
I just want to thank CBN. I think that CBN's an incredible, incredible organization because it gives the truth from Jerusalem to Christians who really love Jerusalem. So I just want to thank you for your work. You have a nice part to play in this historic week as well.
That's very kind.